Of course, it's the professional, as you expected. It's EVC at NYC. You know, just never a dull moment. Is there ever a dull moment here? No, never a dull moment. It's great to have you all in. It's EVC in NYC. We're going to be streaming about some baseball stuff today. It is Wednesdays, as you know, in our game we love to stream out of the park baseball. Every Thursday, new content comes out. And what do? The day before, 24 hours before, we go through and do some speculation of what might be coming out. It's a chance for you to win some packs. We're going to do Guess the Set. So come on in. We're going to take a look at some things today. But glad to have you all here. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much to our good friend, Don't Cut the D-Block Dragon. We can definitely talk about our feelings. If you'd like to talk about feelings, I'm happy to have you share things, and I'll walk you through stuff. It'll be great. We'll have some Ask EVC stuff later, I guess, if you want. But feel free at any time to ask questions. Today I'm gonna laugh at your injury. Well, that's right. We're doing Guess the Set. So why don't we get right into it, shall we? Again. It's I think it's April Bunk brings May flowers. That's kind of how it works here. We've got the baseball reference May flower set that's been announced coming out tomorrow, and you can get in. We've got a form. If you guess what cards are coming out tomorrow, the most correct guesses gets 20 standard packs for the game. Second place gets 5 packs. So let's get this show on the road, shall we? I put the link to the form there in the chat, so you can get in there. And little programming note so you know what's going on. Again, we've got our Guess the Set we're doing today. We'll do that again next Wednesday at noon. Saturday we'll be opening, looks like maybe 300 packs on Saturday, Rip-A-Pack-A-Palooza. You have a chance to win. Just guess what I get in on Saturday at 11 a.m. But then next week, our theme team postseason recap will not happen on Monday night. I'll be away in Florida on Monday night. We'll do remote on Tuesday morning. So kind of midday for the next week or so. You should expect me across the different channels on the different dates. Make sure you follow to get in whenever I am. And again, we'll see. I'm supposed to be leaving to get to Jacksonville on Wednesday. We'll see if we get to 12 noon. We might have to go a little earlier. I'll update as soon as I know a little bit more about our schedule. But thanks for being here, as always, and thank you to all the subscribers and supporters of the channel. You guys are awesome. You make this fun. It's great to have 300 of you hanging out here already on a Wednesday. Again, as we noted, every Thursday, new cards, players come out, and this is this week's teaser. This week in TWIP teases Baseball References back with set number 2, the May Flower set. We'll focus on some of the best May performances in MLB history, with players ranging from 1910s to 2010s. So 1910s to 2010s, which means no 1900s, no dead ball players from pre-1900 on here. So if that was in your idea, make sure you do not put any of those players on your form. Also, if you're playing along and waiting for me to show off different players and make your decisions on different things, please be sure to put in on the form your name and password. I've gotten blank entries 2 weeks in a row now, guys. So again, get in there. There is the link. And a little bit different format. I'm not doing a actual bunk pick this week, which should make it easy for you guys if you guys have to crawl away quickly. Yes. Maybe it is a flow too. I never know. I never know how many of them are me. So let's go through. We're going to bring on the bunk. Which is, again, if you're new here, someone said that I don't even have to listen to EVC's stream and speculation. I'm going to put it in and I'll win anyway, because everything he's spewing is bunk, and hence the bunk has become a thing. So it is a I believe the EVC at NYC 1, it's not me. I believe it is Music Lessons posing as me. So I have been usurped. There's so many bots. Now remember, okay, we did a baseball reference set just 2 weeks ago, and we got these cards. And remember, we got some pretty obscure cards last week. We guessed 154 players. We did not get a single one last week. Not a single one. Or 2 weeks ago. So, you know, he had some names like Albert Bell and Shane Bieber, but we didn't guess, or Maury Wills. No, unfortunately, it's not Mrs. EVC. It is someone impersonating me, so there you go. It's so hard to tell what's real these days, isn't it? But I can tell you my bunk is real, and this is real. I showed you all sorts of players. I showed 50, 60 players on this Siesta set, and we got none of them. None of them. So it's all bunk news everywhere all the time. We also had, if you don't remember, a April Game Changers. So now we've had April Game Changers. Now we're going to have May Flowers. So it seems like there may be a trend here where we're going to be seeing different card sets based on top performers by each month. So, and again, look at this set. I've forgotten this set already. But players like Goose Goslin, who has a great bat, Nathan Eovaldi's been meta for bronze tournaments. Babe Adams, a very strong player. I love you guys in chat. Albert Pujols was a topper to go after a couple weeks ago. Eric Young, again, meta for bronze second baseman. Greg Swindell being meta for silver tournaments. Very strong player to beat. Jack Powell's been strong in gold tournaments. This set was fire, actually, if you look at this set. This set has a lot of cards that have performed really well, both in league play and in the different level tournaments you can play with OOTP. So, again, really interesting kind of set of cards. So just getting in the mindset, right? We're going to see cards probably from bronze up to perfect in this set. So that means you're going to have a bunch of obscure different types of names. And so, I thought I'd just go and do some research, I
decided I'm going to do a little research.
And we'll see what develops. So, again, I use StatHead Baseball as a stat site that gives me insights. I can do splits by month. I can do the splits for the month of May, for example, and see the top players for each of those different stats that I'm looking at. And so I don't get paid for this promotion, but if you'd like to be able to, yes, we got some sirens going. It's EVC and NYC bringing you the sounds of New York City, and luckily for you, not the smells. But we're also bringing you a discount. If you'd like to get the baseball annual, I love the site very much. All my followers can get 20% off. All you have to do is put EVC and NYC in at checkout, and you can get your 20% off. So support. Support Baseball Reference for all the great stuff they do in StatHead. And, of course, the set this week is Baseball Reference. So I thought I'd start off and take a look at who's got...
Holy cow!
The real Teddy-O. Thank you for subbing now for 8 months. I really appreciate you. Hope you're doing well in NOLA. You're no longer driving through any more of those tornadoes or hurricanes or whatever you end up having. I guess hurricanes wouldn't... Or is it, you get more tornadoes, right? Anyway... some people are on fire today. Thank you for the 8-month subscriptions. Also, thank you to 23 months from Cubs fan Steve, who subscribed earlier on. And I also want to say it's coming up next Monday. The day I'm taking off will be my 2-year anniversary as an OOTP Twitch affiliate. So giving you drops for 2 years now, which is kind of insane. Anyway, I thought I'd look at homers, right? The most homers in the month of May by any player. Of course, Barry Bonds is the top of this list. 2001 hit 17 homers. Do not put Barry Bonds on your form. There will be no Barry Bonds in this set. Barry Bonds is not a licensed person to be in the MLB Players Association. So, yeah, Barry who exactly. But some other names on this. Again, big names. Mantle, McGuire, Griffey Jr., Frank Howard, Harmon Killebrew, McGuire, again, twice, both 1988 and 1987. Thank you, Peds. Babe Ruth and Cy Williams have 15 or more homers there. So I'm going to focus on 2 different names that, again, maybe we get a Mantle here. Maybe we get a Mantle early. Who knows? I'm going to focus on the more obscure names because I feel like obscure is where it's going to happen. So let's take a look at Edwin Encarnacion. Hit 16 home runs in 2014. So I'm going to go with this one. Again, on this list, when you take a look at this list, he stands out. Tied for the most and a player. You gonna put his other alter egos? Lamar Bonds, Barry Bonds 1, Barry Bonds 2, Edwin Encarnacion. I think this is an interesting player that I'm gonna call out that I think Spore would have fun making a card for. I didn't take a look at, again, the rest of the year, right? The rest of the year, he only hit 34 home runs. So 47% of the home runs he hit during 2014 happened in the month of May. That is, like, to me, spot on for what this set's about. Somebody who performed really well. You can highlight them, giving a little more power, etc., than you could for their full year card for 2014. So I feel like an Edwin Encarnacion is definitely a chance that we have. 134 plus OPS. I keep, it's Encarnacion. Okay. Yes, I have, again, typoed my way to infamy. It's Edwin Encarnacion. Okay. Encarnacion. Yeah, pronunciation. You would think I would prep for these streams, exclamation point professional, but, you know, I don't. Can't mispronounce it if you can't spell it. Bringing you nothing but a mess. So, EE. Wow. It is really frightening today. Yeah, Encarnacion. Yeah, Encarnacion 2 was taken. And the other person on that list that was intriguing to me was Cy Williams. I think I spelled this one right, but not going to guarantee it. Not going to guarantee it. Again, hit 15 home runs in May using a single season split in Stathead Baseball, looking for the month of May. And again, 15 dingers. He hit 41 homers in 1923, leading a career high and leading the league with those 41 homers in 1923. 36% of his 41 homers came in the month of May. Cy Williams checks out. Yeah. Yes, so the form this week, if you're not aware of the form this week, again, let's take a look at the form. Again, exclamation point rip. Excuse me, guess. Exclamation point guess is the form. And I've got a couple things. Which decade is going to get the most cards this week? And then, again, I can see here that I have spelled him around, so I'm going to make sure it's Encarnacion. Because why would I spell it right? At least I'm consistent, right, in my typos. So this week, I'm going to mention some different players. If you click on them and they get a card, you get a point. If you click on them and don't get a card, you get -1 point. You can click. None of these get a card, so you get 1 point if that's right. -1 if I do get a card. I'm also going to say, do we get a throwback card this series? And then you have 3 guesses here that you can put in any player you want, and you can choose a player I talk about, or you can choose somebody else. All players with names as flowers. Jim Buttercup. There you go. So that's the form this week. Cy Williams is one that I think might be a card this week. Hit 41 homers in 1923. So he does have a card in the game, though. I did check this week at least a couple of these players to see if they have a card. He has a bronze from 1917. Again, this is 1923, 6 years later. Could be a better card. But, you know, maybe another card, maybe we don't. Who knows? Cy Williams, 15 home runs. One of the top 10 home runs in the month of May. Let's move on to stolen bases. We go from the power to the speed. Lots of different names on here. We've already got a Ricky Henderson in the game. We've got a Tim Raines. We've got a gold level Roger Cedeno in the game. Carl Crawford, I've been touting for a couple weeks now. Maybe this is his time with 21 stolen bases in there. Bob Dernier is interesting to me. D. Strange Gordon, Maury Wills, Ricky Henderson, Omar Moreno. Now, we do have a D. Strange Gordon card in the game. We just got a Maury Wills as part of the baseball reference set, so we're not going to get another one of him. We got Luis Castillo, Vince Coleman, Bill North, Maury Wills again. Don Baylor with 18 steals surprised me. I don't remember him being a big thing. Yes, A. Hunter, I'm with you. Bob Denier, 1982, stole 21 bases. Again, 1, 2, 3, fourth all time in the month of May. Seems like a perfect fit for this set. Vince has an iron card. Yeah, there's no Bob Denier card in there. Cubby legend, as Cubs fan 23 Steve is pointing out in chat. So Bob Denier could be someone that we get this week. I kind of like the chances of Bob Denier a great deal. He ended up with 42 stolen bases, so half his stolen bases came in the month of May. So just, again, Bob is one of the guys. And again, Bob's, I'm pretty sure that's him. It says Ernier on the back there. That looks like a grandson? I mean, is it? Does he have like a grandson that's the same name and steals? It probably is too good. You know, maybe it is. I don't know. He's also got a mitt, which I don't think they had in 1982. You think it's definitely Horner? No, there's an E there. It can't be. Is Horner got an E? It does. It is Horner. Well, yeah. That's not Bob Denier. It's not Bob Denier. Darn. Bob Horner! That's right, professional. Exactly. I am full of the bunk. Bob Denier. I thought this is a really good photo for Bob Denier. I see. Looks like you're. Yeah. Fact checking. I need a fact checker. No, that's fair. No, it's totally fair. I actually find it actually hilarious that I actually got the wrong picture. It was taken with the new iPhone. 1982 iPhone. Yeah. That's a Cubs helmet. I mean, it's close. All Cubs look alike. So, yeah. Do we have a better picture? Let's see. This is let's go through and look for Bob Denier, huh? Shall we? Bob Denier, stealing bases, Cubs. There's Bob Denier. Also the deer, I guess. Got a gold glove, it looks like. This is the picture I should have used, right? It was just 296 by Facebook. I'm not gonna go there. Let's not do that. You know, and somehow I chose the Nico Horner photo. Yeah. There's Coach Bob Denier. And Bob Denier is a Philly. Clearly a bot. So there you go. Never in doubt. So yeah, I screwed this one up. But yeah, Bob Denier. I think we get a Bob Denier. And maybe we get a Nico Horner card thrown in just for fun. Spore, if you're watching, throw in a Nico Horner card just for fun, just to make fun of me. That would be entertaining, actually. Again, it is never dull. Okay, this one, I think the photo's right. Statistically, I can't mess them all up. It's true. There's got to be, the odds are, I am proving week after week that my odds are horrible, so. This is Dave Parker, yes. Throwback future legend, Nico Horner inbound, yes. That is exactly what we should do. We should get a throwback Nico Horner to go along with my Bob Denier photo. Spore, if you're listening. Or Nico, if you're listening. I think we need to do that. Omar Moreno, 1982, stolen bases, had 20 in May. One of the top stolen base performances in the month of May. And he stole 60 that year, so a third of them came in May. Now, again, if you think about it, the average season is 6 months. So you should do about 16% of your total in every month if you're consistent. Consistency is not always a thing in baseball, as we know. So 33% of his steals came in the month of May. We don't have an Omar in the game. I don't think wrong photo counts for music lessons. This is definitely Omar. And so this is what I'm calling, I think, again, you make the choice. Do we get Omar in the game? Do we get a Bob Demir / Nico Horner? You have a chance to fill out the form and find out. It's Guess the Set. And again, I expect you to do some other guessing beyond the ones I'm putting in here, right? You've got 3 guesses to go through. It's 5 points if you get one correct. And if you're the only person to get it correct, you get extra 3 points. Dukeston. That's a bad one. Once had a photographic memory and then you were overexposed. So let's go take a look at OPS. You're going to put Nico in every question? I don't know if Nico's ever had a good April. We can go through and take a look at who's had the best performances. Let's go into StatHead here. StatHead. And let's go take a look at the player batting split finders. And let's go take a look at, let's go do an OPS. And we're going to go through and take every era. We're going to do splits of months. And we're going to take a look for the month of May. And we're going to choose only Cubbies. Who has the best OPS ever in May for Cubbies? We're going to do the Chicago Cubs and get results. Who has the best OPS of any Cubby? You, Ernie Banks? Santo? Again, let's go back to criteria. Let's make sure that you have also had plate appearances of at least 50. As you see there, we got people who just had a couple plate appearances. So let's go through and do people who played pretty much a full month. You think it's Hack Wilson? Billy Williams is a close second place, though. Cubs fan 23 Steve. Hack Wilson with a 1283 OPS in 1930. Billy Williams in 1964. Jim Hickman in 1970. And Sammy Sosa in 2002. And finally, Heine Zimmerman in 1912. Your top 5 Cubbies by OPS. Is Nico anywhere on here? Let's go look for Nico. Nico Horner, a 929 in 2024. So far, his OPS in this month is his best May ever. So there you go. Billy D could rake. I have to admit, I drafted Billy Williams in my 1960s league, and he just didn't develop in the same way that I hoped he would, as he did here for the Cubbies. So I had to trade him for Cleet Boyer, I think it was. Anyway. 129th among Cubs definitely earns you a card. Nico learned to walk this year, so it's his best year. There you go. So kind of fun stuff, taking a look at some of the different OPS users. Now let's take a look at the OPS all-time in May, not just Cubbies. And you'll see that Hack Wilson's May does not even break the top 15. You've got names on here that we know. Todd Helton, Barry Bonds. Frank Thomas is an interesting one from 1994. Babe Ruth, of course, the McGuire, 93 and 98, separated by 5 years there for the OPS. Gavy Kravitz, A-Rod, Babe Ruth, Lance Berkman. We got as a Mission Edition card already. Andre Ether's got a card in the game already. Jimmy Fox has a card. Benny Agbayani, Mickey Mantle, and Babe Ruth. In this list, I picked 2 that I was my favorites. Now, Frank Thomas definitely is a possibility. So you might want to think about Frank Thomas as a single season OPS, right, for a month of May. 1994, 3rd highest ever. I'm going to go down to number 7, Gavy Kravitz. Split for May was a 1412 OPS. This number, looking at that number, is huge. 1412. He ended the season with a 1078 OPS in 1919. Oh, really? Oh. Is he not part of the Players Association? Is he not available? Because good. How you doing, NC Pirate? I did not know that. I thought Benny was definitely an interesting card. So Spore is telling us that Abiyani is a no-go. So that's an easy one for your form. Don't select Benny. Darn. I was really hoping that we'd get Benny. Benny felt like a card that'd be great for this set. And his first full MLB career with a career best 888 OPS in 1999. You got a kibosh. So there you go. Unfortunately, unable to do that because he broke the strike against the Baseball Players Association, so will not be in the game. Interesting, and a bummer, because I like that. I know, the dream has been ruined. So that maybe Frank Thomas on this list is interesting. I didn't go deeper on this, but, you know, there's some interesting ones. I didn't... I tried to put him in. He felt like the right thing. I was like mind melding there. Okay, so just because there's two different things, then I think we have to go through, because I can't do Benny Agbayani. Let's do the Detroit Tigers best OPS ever in the month of May, and take a look at that. I do not know, Messy Rocks. That's a good question. The all-time OPS leader for the Detroit Tigers is Harry Heilmann, followed by Cecil Fielder, Harry Heilmann again, Hank Greenberg twice, Cabrera, Ty Cobb, Willie Horton, Al Wingo in your top 10. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to get a Tiger today, because that would be crazy. But there are some top OPS guys here. And, of course, we do know that yesterday, or this last set, I think we had 5 Yankees or 6 Yankees in the last set. So since Sporer, you know, the Yankees win, is taking on a second team, we can go take a look at the top OPS ever for Yankees players here. Yankees are the new news. Babe Ruth, Babe Ruth, Babe Ruth, Babe Ruth, Babe Ruth, Babe Ruth, and George Selkirk, and a Gehrig and a Mantle thrown in, and a Judge thrown in for fun. Yeah. Babe liked May. Babe liked May a lot. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the top 12 Yankee OPSs in May. Babe Ruth. So, fun with numbers. Fun with numbers a day. Get your guesses sets in. I don't think we're getting any Babe Ruth, but hey, you know me. I'm full of bunk. I told Laptop we wouldn't get a Pujols, and what did we get? We got a Pujols. So anyway, on this list, again, Babe Ruth, 1547, and his 1387. So he's got in here 3 times. 1547, 1412, 1384. You'd figure out the odds. Do we get a Babe Ruth at this point? Seems early to me. Don't know. I'm going with Gavi, and I was going to go with Benny, but Benny's that thing. So maybe Frank Thomas is the call here, the 3rd best overall OPS in the month of May. But there you go. Those are the call-outs on stream. Don't check the box next to Benny Agbayani. Let's take a look at average. Again, batting average. I know it's passe. It's passe, too. Passe a ball. Kato passe. Ichiro-san. Kato passe. Ichiro-san. Let's get a base. Ichiro. In case you're wondering, a Japanese chant that you do in baseball games. Harry Bay, 524 batting average. You know what? You think I'd take a look at Harry Bay? Yeah, Lenny Kravitz was pretty good, actually. Babe Ruth, 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 Babe Ruth. I think I did okay. But thank you, franchise Time Machine. I did not know that. Harry Bay. I don't really know much about Harry Bay, actually. But I thought, I look at this list of batting average, really interesting. You've got, of course, the Wade Boggs, the Ty Cobb, Jimmy Fox, Al Simmons, Tris Speaker's in here, Shoeless Joe Jackson, Todd Helton. I thought I'd take a look at a couple catchers, because Sporer always gets a catcher in these sets. There's always going to be a catcher, and this feels like the catcher set for me. So the 2 names I highlighted on my story, Muddy Ruel. I remember having a really good bronze or iron card either last season or year before last. Nice defense behind the plate. And in 1923, he hit 500 in the month of May. I'm trying, DeGray Bill. I'm trying on my main team, but we'll see. He was the Rick Ankiel of his day. It is a good name. Muddy Rell is an actually awesome name. The resolution on this photo is also pretty amazing. It may be Nico Horner just in case. Is Rule? Okay. You know, one day I'm going to have time before one of these streams and actually go through and look at the pronunciations for each player. But I think it's more fun if I just go with my own, just gut. Looks like the guy who played Kevin Costner, his dad in Field of Dreams. So I find these pictures, but again, I think a Nico Horner throwback is in order. Spore and Nico. Black and white images were clearer back then. You can't unsee that now? Wow. Oh, interesting. He hit in 1923 with a career best 316 batting average after that wonderful May 500 batting average. So I kind of like this card as a catcher in the batting average. And, you know, you don't really think about catchers and batting average. It's usually not something, you know, again, you've got some like Joe Mauer. Here you got Muddy with a 318. Excuse me, 316. It's definitely more fun for you, at least. I sit here in shame every single time I mispronounce. And then Benji Molina, 2000, hit 461 in May in 2000. And again, he ended his first MLB season in 2000 with a 281 batting average. He was a career 274 hitter. So I think this was really an interesting card. I like this concept of a Benji Molina for this set. Again, just because batting average and catchers usually don't go along. This would be kind of a fun one. I could see this being a lower level card that plays really well in an attorney. So something to kind of take a look at and think about for your Guess the Set this week. Again, it's Guess the Set. Get your form in right now. And guess what, guys? I have to take care of something. Something just came up. I'm going to be back in a second. I'm going to run a commercial. I apologize. I'm going to leave a stream share for those that are subscribers, but get in there right now and bear with me as I go tackle something that just came up. Be right back. Back to the chair. Sorry about that. Yes, I'll have chair 2 coming up next. Yeah, I had to start my other stream. That's exactly what was going on. Welcome back, everybody, from commercial break. Thank you very much. I had laundry, and I find if I don't take care of the laundry immediately, then it's a bad thing. So I had to take care of the laundry real quick. That was it. That was it. That was it. Nothing else. 3 new hats from UPS. I need more hats. Let's go take a look at base on balls. We had the wonderful Eddie Yost, who turns up here on the list down here twice for walks in the month. We had an Eddie Yost. Oh, Brennan Davis is back on the Cubs. Top 30 prospects. Nice to hear. No. Yes, all my Dodger stuff turned into Giants gear one time. When I left it in, it all turned into Giants gear. So I don't want to have that again. I have to take care of the laundry immediately. Otherwise, I'm in trouble. No, we're not doing that. Don't cut the D-Block Dragon. Again, shout out to Don't Cut the D-Block Dragon for the raid today. Appreciate that, my friend. And make sure you go follow this man. Always fun stuff in the mornings. Looking at base on balls, some of the top base on balls performances. The most walks. Max Bishop had 37, 1930. Eddie Juiced. There's Frank Thomas yet again. Frank Thomas having that wonderful OPS for the month of May. Walks were a big part of that. 36 walks in 1995. Dave Hollins is on the list. Name I have not heard for a while. That could be an interesting card to look at. Dale Murphy. Always enjoy a Dale Murphy card coming through. And Eddie Collins. We already have 100 perfect Eddie Collins in the game. Of course, more Babe Ruth showing up. The two I decided to highlight today were the two at the top of the list. Max Bishop had 37 walks in 1930. And again, Max ended the season with 128 walks for his second straight season. So he had 128 walks in 1929, which led the league, and then 128 walks in the following year in 1930. Talk about consistency. That is a lot of walking. He got 29% of his walks in May. Yeah, I'm not, no. You guys. Airing the dirty laundry right here. And so we've got Max Bishop. I think would be an interesting one to look at. Another one, a fan favorite, Eddie Juiced. 1949 led that season with 36 walks in the month of May, the second most walks all time in a single month. Again, known for his defense. We've had a couple different Eddie Juice in the past, which have been fun. He ended the season with 80 walks, so 45% of his walks this season happened in the month of May. In 1947, 2 years earlier, he led the league with 110 walks. So Eddie Juiced, or Edwind, depending on, you know, if you're formal or not. So Eddie Juiced here on Guess the Set. Again, get your entries in if you haven't already. Guess what cards are coming. We'll be taking a look at some more stats thanks to Baseball References Stathead Baseball. Wow, this is really getting ugly. Edwin Encarnacion Juiced. Get your discount at Stathead. Strikeouts. Let's go to pitching. We haven't talked about many pitchers yet. Let's talk about pitching. The most strikeouts in a single May by any player in baseball history, Sandy Koufax, prior to the Dodgers, with 76. Fangraphs dropped the Cubs prospect list today. Nice. I know the MLB pipeline got released yesterday, so a lot more fodder of rookies. Some people popping up all over the place on those prospect lists. Sam McDowell, 1968 and 1970 with 76 and 71 strikeouts in the month of May. Tom Seaver, Steve Carlton, Pedro Martinez, Walter Johnson, Bob Gibson, Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez, Chris Sale, Bob Feller, Fergie Jenkins, Clayton Kershaw with 65, Nolan Ryan, Rube Waddell, Sam McDowell yet again here with 64 in 1965. So 64 in 1965, 71 in 1970, and 76 in 1980 for Sam McDowell. Now, if I'm not mistaken, and I usually am, as you all know, I think there's a Sam McDowell already in the game. Is that right? Oh, a little preview here of the Bagels and Schmear where Chess and I were going head to head. Am I out? Did you beat me, Chess? I think you did. Oh, that's never good. I am out. I think Chess beat me. Hate that. 47 prospects for the Cubs. Nice. Some might call them pop-up prospects. They might, Backdog. They might. Rolling, waiting on the game here. Holy cow. So, I believe there's a McDowell in the game already. Yeah, Sam McDowell, perfect, is already in the game. You can see strikeouts right here, 132, 133, 131 on his stuff. So it's already been encapsulated as we take a look at our list of players here. That's Sam McDowell. We've already got a Koufax, not a penultimate, not the ultimate Koufax, but we've got a Koufax in the game. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper on this list. And Chris Sale in 2019 had 66 strikeouts. Number 11 on the list for most strikeouts in the month of May. And he struck out 218 batters in 2019. 30% of them came in May. Now, I believe this is the season that he ended up getting hurt, but I could be wrong. Chris Sale. That was a great version of Chris Sale. So, yeah, 2019. So here, the years before here, again, he didn't have great Mays, but, Boston, 308 strikeouts in 2017, 274 in 2014, and 218 here. Now, he only started 25 games here, and I kind of think injuries must have come into play. So, who knows what he might have gotten. But he was out all of 2020 with surgery. And so far in 2024, 61 Ks and 49 innings. His strikeout per nine of 11.1 has kind of been what he's been doing the last 3 or 4 years, honestly. And so far, 6-1 with the Braves. Very, very good that they were able to sign him this offseason. Yes, the photo actually was of Chris Sale. There you go. An actual Chris Sale photo. Fact-checking for life. So, again, 30% of his strikeouts came in May. I have no idea. And then Mike Scott with 64 strikeouts in the month of May. Look at the torque on that arm, man. Look at this, just bending it like Beckham. Scott struck out a lead leaguing. I will do this every single time I think about league leaders. I always start with leaguing. The league leaders. And career high 306 total batters struck out in 1986. 21% of them, 64, got struck out in May. So again, this is kind of close to the position. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what to pay. What can I pay? A league leading, 306 strikeouts for Mike Scott. So that's one of my call-outs this week, I think. Looking at the list of players here for strikeouts, I don't think, I'm trying to stay off the big names and go for slightly more obscure. These are all pretty big names, right? These are all guys who struck out a ton of players. So there's no like, oh, who's that guy on this list? Maybe, again, Rube Waddell doesn't count because it's 1910s to 2010s, right? So no Rube Waddell on this list. We already have a Walter Johnson in that's a diamond. So, as far as names that kind of stick out, I felt like the Chris Sale and the Mike Scott were the two that made the most sense in this list. It could be Michael Scott. It could be Michael Scott. It would be entertaining if I have Michael Scott here. Maybe we'll have a Michael Scott card come out. I always forget saves. Let's go look at saves. The players with the most saves ever in the month of May. 14 for Danny Graves, 13 for Todd Jones, and 12 for a bunch of the people. This list is intriguing. I think you could get almost everybody on this list. Would be an interesting card. This is a chance to get an Edward Majuka in there, or a Heathcliff Slocum. Gotta love Heathcliff. Jason Grilly, Jonathan Broxton. These are all interesting cards that we could get today or tomorrow. So of all the different ones on saves, I'm the least sure of my two that I'm going to call out. Yeah, I mean, you forget about these guys, but these guys had just stellar. You know, Trevor Hoffman, of course, is here. Glenn Perkins was a good closer for the Twins for a while. But I'm going to call out two. There you go. Danny Graves. Born in Vietnam, I guess. Is that right? Did I get that right? Single season, most saves in the month of May, 14. He went on to save 41 that year. It was a career high. 34% of them came in the month of May. So a third of those saves he got in the month of May. And again, a lot of for a closer, it's when your team is hot. And if you take a look at Danny Graves' career, really interesting, again, this was kind of peak Danny Graves. When you look at the saves, 41. I must have been hurt in 2003. Not the greatest ERA year. FIP was much worse, 482 FIP. Probably peak Danny Graves is somewhere in this range, more like his 2000 year, where he had 30 saves, 5 blown saves, and a FIP of 459. Not really great. Danny Graves, interesting player. Reds legend, says Gorgo. I know he's in the Reds Hall of Fame, I saw. So Danny Graves, I think, is an interesting call for the set. Again, having the most saves ever in the month of May. And might be an interesting call. Now, again, the Tiger memes, I get it. They're old, but it was too hard to pass up. On the second most saves ever in the month of May, Todd Jones. He does have a 40 in the game already from his 2001 year. This is 2006. So 2001, I believe, was his last year with the Tigers. He got traded and then came back in 2006. He ended up getting 38. He was 38 years old. Got 37 saves for the Tigers in 2006. 34% of those saves came in the month of May. You just pulled 100 Eddie Collins. Congratulations, NC Pirate. That's a very fun and nice second baseman you got there. Congratulations, my friend. I am super happy when drops you guys get bring out great cards like that. Again, we're doing guess the set, but that's awesome. So I don't know. The Todd Jones, I feel like we've already got a Todd Jones for 2001. Again, take a look at Todd Jones' career. And as someone mentioned, again, he's the only MLB player, Danny Graves, the only MLB player to be born in Vietnam that's made the major leagues. So here's Todd Jones. And again, Todd Jones, 2000, 42 saves, right? The 42 saves was only worth, 2001, okay. Yeah, 2001, he fell off a truck hard. I don't know what happened. 13 saves, 8 blown saves for him. Someone's going to do, we've got several Tigers theme teams running already in this year, actually. I don't know how many Tigers. I should go look at how many Tigers theme teams we have. I can do that real quick. You can too. You can take a look at our total number of teams. They're great. PT 25. Friends list. And we have all the theme teams running here. And we have currently 4 Detroit Tigers theme teams running in the game right now. So there you go. Oh, the 2003 team won. I did not realize that. I forgot about that. So Todd Jones here. 2003 won 43 games. He saved 14 of them. He finished 14 of them. Wait, 2003. Oh, he's in Colorado and Boston. He's not in Detroit at that point. See, they trade away Todd Jones. I just called Todd Jones. Enjoy music lessons. They trade away Todd Jones mid-season, and then they'd go into the stinker. That was the downfall of the team. That was the downfall of the team. So get your guesses in. It's Guess the Set. You can get your entries in now. I'm calling out some ones on stream. If you think they get a card, make a checkbox against it. If you don't, leave it blank. If I get the card, you get a point. If we don't get the card and you check the box, it's -1 point. Isn't it unusual? Very nice, Fred the Baker. Very good. Very nice. I forgot the first lyrics of that, but I was almost saying it, Fred the Baker. Let's look at shutouts. Again, we're looking for more pitching categories that we could highlight. Don Drysdale with 5 shutouts in May of 1968. That was a year for Don Drysdale. I think that's when he had his scoreless inning streak. Hey Hunter, what are you? Was that just the because of 5 shutouts? Or or somebody just hit you in the head, or did something just happen in your house? Don Drysdale. That is a crazy month. 5 shutouts, and he went 5-1 in the month. Actually, can we go take a look? I always get this messed up. How can I look at Don Drysdale's game log in 1968? Don Drysdale. Okay, seasons. Nope. Game logs. 1968. And we're going to look at May. And here you go. Again, I don't know if you can see this, so I'm going to make it a little bigger. In the month of May, he pitched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. 8 games in the month of May. Lost the first 3 of them. And then managed to put together 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then into June, 6 straight shutouts. This was peak Drysdale. 1-0 shutout. 1-0 shutout again versus Houston. 4 days rest. Here he had 4 days rest again, a 2-0 shutout. Then against Houston again, a 5-0 shutout. 5-day rest for the first time here, a 3-0 shutout against the Giants, and then a 5-0 shutout. And yes, he lost a 2-1 game, a 3-2 game, and then a 3-7 game. So, yeah. I forget how to do this. How can I do multiple months? I know there's a thing I can highlight. There we go. His month of May stats: 8 games started, 5-3, 68 innings pitched, an 0.53 ERA, a 1.64 FIP, BABIP of 232 against him. Like, stellar Drysdale. Yes, this is the streak that Hershiser broke in 1988. Correct. None of the shutouts were over 8 innings. For Hershiser? Yeah, let's go. I mean, if you take this streak here, I mean, this is just crazy, right? Didn't want to do that. How do I undo? I want to do from here. I know there's a way to do this. Here we go. Yeah, I did it again. Too much work. But anyway, guess I said Drysdale is an interesting one. Again, this May was a May to remember, even though he lost 3 games. 5-3 in May, 0.53 ERA. Of course, that's not the player I highlighted, because why would I do that? I highlighted Ray Herbert from 1963. Ray Herbert on the Chicago White Sox. Single season split by May. He tossed 3 more shutouts that year to have 7, leading the league in 1963. 57% of the shutouts came in May, but he had 7 shutouts total. Let's go take a look at Ray Herbert while we're at it. In May of 1963, which I think is kind of fun. Ray Herbert. It's EVC and NYC bringing the sounds of New York City. And luckily for you, not the smells. So let's go through and look at his game logs. Well, pitching was 1963. We can take a look at 1963. I should look at game logs instead. Home away, first half, second half. May. Why is really weird. Let me go look at the other game log. Okay, game logs, 1963. And we'll go into May. And you'll see he had 7-0, 8-0, 2-0, 3-0 complete game shutouts against Baltimore, the Senators, the Yankees, and the Tigers. And then he also had a complete game shutout in April 18th. Again, 4 days rest here, a 5-day rest here between that last one. But a solid May altogether. And his May numbers. Why does it keep showing me the batting versus the pitching? I guess he was batting. Why doesn't it show me the pitching? Am I on his hitting page? Batting splits, career game logs, career pitching logs. I went to batting logs. I know. Thanks, Tex Yanks. I'm obviously. 999, 573, 7 strikeouts here. His month of May. He went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2. 56 innings pitched, 193 ERA, 264 FIP. Struck out 32 in 56 innings. So not a strikeout pitcher, but again was able to get those 4 shutouts in. I thought was another interesting one to take a look at. Drysdale by far the better May, but 4 shutouts in May. Gave up 4 home runs during that period of time. Nothing to sneeze at for Ray Herbert. Born in Detroit, Michigan, and started at 20, almost 21 years old, and pitched until he was age 36. Those were the days. So Ray Herbert on the shutouts list again. Don Drysdale, Herbert, the 2 that stood out to me on this list. Take a look and see if you're going to add them to your list. I also thought we'd do some quirky stats. Just take a look and see what's going on for quirky stats. And great to have over 400 of you here, almost 400 of you here. And this was wild pitches in May. James Baldwin. The guys I was going to highlight all have cards in the game, so I don't think we get new ones. James Baldwin in 1999 had 8 wild pitches. He threw only 3 more the rest of the year. Mark Gubicza had 7 more for career high 15 that year in 1986. And Garrett Richards added 7 more, having 15 wild pitches. He had 8, though, in the month of May, so over half of them in the month of May. Career high 22 wild pitches in that 2014 year, actually. And the card in the game is already for 2015, which I don't know how many wild pitches he had that year, but some interesting things. Okay, and my other goofy one, which I kind of liked. Most innings pitched in May without giving up a walk. This took me a while to find this one. But Javier Vasquez, in 2005, pitched 46 innings, struck out 39, and did not issue a single walk. I don't know what the longest streak ever for innings without giving up a walk is. I didn't look that up. But in 6 game starts, had a 2.15 ERA, didn't walk a batter, 39 Ks. The rest of the year, the full season stats, 11-15 with a 4.42 ERA. Walked 45 batters, 192 Ks. But that was quite a month of May. I kind of like this one. It's kind of out there. I had a hard time finding him in a Diamondbacks uniform. This is the one I found in the turkey red. I don't even know what turkey red is, guys. What is turkey red? But it's the name on the card. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to do. Again, this is just looking at month of May. I'm assuming we could take a look on, we could probably find something here on Split Finder. Let's go here and see what StatHead can show me here. We want to find Season Finder, Game Finder. I guess it's Split Finder. I'm not sure if it's Split Finder or not. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. So I'm being a horrible... Okay. So we're looking for walks, ascending, and we're looking for... Actually, I'm looking for innings pitched. Innings pitched. Descending, where the it's probably not. I'm not sure how to do this. I don't really want to split. I haven't figured this out how to do this. I'm not going to waste your time doing that. Anyway, get in on Guess the Set, guys. It is your chance to get in. It'll be open till about 11 tomorrow. We'll be on with our good friend Laptop tomorrow, 11 o'clock, covering what's going on in Guess the Set and what you guys have all picked as some of the top players. But that is my overall look at Guess the Set this week. So kind of a shorter, content piece. No bunk this week. Pretty much all my picks are bunk, right? So this week. You get to go through and choose every single one that's going to be bunk or not. Is it? Let me go back and take a look. You can choose these players. Edwin Encarnacion. Cy Williams. Bob Denier. Nico Horner throwback. Will we get a throwback card this week? It's on the form. Omar Moreno, Gabby Kravitz, Benny. We're not going to get a Benny because he crossed the picket line. Muddy Ruel. Greg Maddux had 70.1 innings in a row without a walk in 2001. Nice. Benji Molina, my catcher shot, along with Ruel. Max Bishop. Eddie Juiced. Some people might think Frank Thomas on this one. Strikeout, single season. Chris Sale and Mike Scott. Bunk or not, you get to choose. Donnie Graves and Todd Jones. Bunk or not, you get to choose on the form. Ray Herbert. You get to choose on the form. And Javier Vasquez. Yay or nay for a card. And then you do your write-ins. You've got 3 write-ins. So again, I think we should go look at again just an overall. You're trying to think about what you're going to get. This is how you can use StatHead to kind of figure out. This is pitching, isn't it? Let's go back. I want to go to hitting. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Split Finder, batting. Donnie Graves. Did I say Donnie Graves? I said Danny. You're nitpicking. OPS in the month of May. And plate appearances greater than or equal to 50. Let's take a look at the top players. Again, don't guess Barry Bonds. There's Frank Thomas at the list. Babe Ruth, McGuire's, Gravy, Berkman, Fox, Agbayani's in there. For speaker, Bing Miller. Brent Rooker in 2024. Brent Rooker Brent Rooker this year has the 22nd best May OPS. And we're only halfway through the month. Eric Davis, Kevin Mitchell in the top 25, Joe Mauer, Otto Velez, Piazza, Rico Cardi. Again, Rico Cardi, definitely a Rico Cardi card. Johnny Frederick, Mo Vaughn.
This crowd is wild.
Jose Canseco. Thank you so much for the follow. I think. It didn't show up, though. And Ivan Calderon there in the top 50. George Selkirk. If you want to look by a specific team, does anyone want me to split this by a specific team? I'll do a specific team if you want me to do one real quick. So if it help you out with your team favorites. Put in a team and we'll look at the top May OPS for your team. And figure out if you want to add them in your guesses set. Like, who's your favorite team? The Orioles. Okay. Team. We're going to go for the Baltimore Orioles and get results. The top Baltimore Orioles May OPS, and then we'll do the Phillies. Wally Shang. Wally Shang with a 1293. Boog Powell. A couple Ken Williams in here. Number 3, number 4, and number 13. Eric Davis and Chris Davis, of course. George Sisler, Jem Gentile, John Lowenstein, Melvin Mora from 2004. And there's an Eddie Murray sighting. Wally Shang. Let's go through and do the Phillies real quick. Philadelphia Freedom. Philly's on fire this year. You thought Frank Robinson would be there. Yeah, I guess he's didn't have good Mays. There we go. Gravy. Gravy. Kravitz there at the top. We saw the Yankees. It was all Babe Ruth. It was like 10 of the top 15 were Babe Ruth. Bobby, Chuck Klein, Lefty O'Doul, Cy Williams we cited before as one of the ones we thought, one of the top 15s. Chuck Klein. Buzz Artlett, Dolph Camilli, Darren Dalton from 1992, Lenny Dykstra, Mike Schmidt, number 11, and Sherry McGee, PTCS Championship Awards. Yep, best record in baseball. That's right, our good friend Nazbase. Whoa, that's not what I want to do. Let's see if I can do this. Nazbase, big Phillies fan. What are you playing there, Nazbase? Is that golf? I was about to do some shopping. Go follow Nazbase. Always a good time. Always chill vibes. Always enjoyable. And, of course, he's got the PBE sim with his... I did that wrong. Got my player. Was an all-star. Enrique Von Caliente. Got to be in the all-star game in the minors yesterday on the stream. Go follow them. Always fun. I don't know what you're trying to say, Jack. I don't know what you're trying to say. Again, if you're just joining us, make sure you get in to guess the set. We have gone through all the different cards and different players. So get your entries in. And again, just a little programming change. I will not be on next Monday night. I'll be on Tuesday afternoon, or Tuesday morning actually. So 11 a.m. this Saturday, 11 a.m. on Tuesday. Celebrating 2 years as an OOTP affiliate. Bringing you drops like the wonderful Eddie Collins that was pulled earlier. And we'll do and guess the set again. I think again next Wednesday at noon. We may have to do an hour earlier depending on when my flight or when I have to get to the airport. So we will be double checking that. Stay tuned, follow to get the latest updates on that. But looking forward to giving away some stuff. The Daily Bagels and Schmear. We've kicked off a new season of the Daily Bagel Schmear. We're in May now. And again, this kicks off around 10:30 each day. The historical cards only, no DH. And we've been rotating different historical New York stadiums. This month, it's the Polo Grounds. And again, if you're in this perfect draft, if you get in the top Final Four, you have a chance to be in a monthly drawing for packs. As long as you get in the Final Four, whoever gets the most points by the end of the month gets 20 packs. And if you defeat my team the most, like Chess Safari did today with his Beats squad, then you get 5 packs. So we got to take a look at the, again, the change. The big change is the ballpark. We've gone from Ebbets Field, which had a short porch and right of 297, 348 in the left, 393 to straight center field-ish, to the Polo Grounds, which is a crazy, crazy field. 258 to right, 279 to left, 483 to center field. So home run hitters, pull hitters for days, home run hitters, get those pitches with high home run allowed to get that, get those down. More ground ball pitchers if you can help it. So think about your Bagels and Schmear draft as you go forward. I thought I did well with my draft. I went with that scheme and did not do well today. These is the latest leaderboard. UVM Cats has won twice and had a third, fourth place setting. Big Daddy is in first place with 11 points. And the home of the Braves, Sportsman 43's theme team of all players who played for in the Braves home field at one point. Yes, extremely high range outfielders needed, at least in center. I don't know if you need it in left and right. Macabre Shea in 8 points. The Glasgow Pipers and Aerodac with 8 points. The Waterton Sword Guys, the Wingnuts, the Sloths, the Little Mowers, the Matadors, the Scooties PCK, the Leaf Towards and the Avengers, and the Clarkston Cougars all with wins. You think you would for Gappers? Yeah, that's interesting. It is an interesting field. It just feels like, center field is going to cover like everything here, and the left field is going to cover down here. It's an interesting stadium, man. Really interesting. Let's go take a look in the game and see how that's going. I did not win the Daily Rocking Chair. Let's go see where we are in the Daily Bagels and Schmear. Yeah, lots of pull hitters. I think that's what you need. Which, can you identify pull hitters easily? I never even think about it, and now I'm trying to think about it, and I don't see anything here that helps me figure out pull hitters. Is it a specific, what should I look for pull hitting? Is it batted ball profile? Will I get an actual profile? Someone I own. I wasn't trying to move him. I was just trying to click on him. Pull hitter. There you go. Excellent, Serpent. You know what? That's how we all started. Watch a lot of streams, ask a lot of questions. Oh, I'm losing tournaments left and right. So, real easy. Let's see, a quick primer. Let's see, quick primer. Okay. When you're looking at players, the overall does not always mean that they're the best players. So just because it says 98 in the card doesn't mean it's better than sometimes a 90. It's an indicator, but look at the stats on the card itself. One of the things you typically want to see on a batter, again, just some basics here, and you guys can pitch in, ask any questions you want. Let's see, where's my Evan Carter? Evan Carter, where are you? On a batter, you like to see a combination of power and eye. I like BABIP, balls batted in play, and eye, hitters. The more blue, the better. And that's how I kind of like that. Fielding, just keep watching streams and asking questions. So that's one thing to take a look at for your batters. For your fielding, when you're taking a look at a player, Defense up the middle is important. On a catcher, the most important stat you're looking for is catcher framing. You want high catcher framing. The higher the catcher framing, the better. For a second baseman, like Eddie Collins, who was just pulled on stream, you want to see infield range and turn double play. Those are the two most important categories for a second baseman. And you need lots of range and able to turn double play. For a shortstop, you want to rely a little bit more on infield error and infield range and arm. Turn double play is not as important for a shortstop. For an outfielder, you want to look at outfield range, outfield error, and outfield arm. Outfield range is the most important. For right field, you want outfield arm. So if you have good, strong outfield range, that's very helpful. And the outfield arm, especially in right field, you need. Yes, this is true. For pitchers, so I'm looking at my pitchers. I'll look at my pitching stats right now. For a pitcher, like Doc Ellis, for example, this year it feels like the pitchers who have strong control and strong home run allowed are doing better than those that don't have high numbers in this. Again, 80 plus, 90 plus is great in these categories. But stuff is going to drive your strikeouts. So if you're doing those two things, that's what you want to take a look at. Now, how do you want to improve your team? How's my team doing? My team currently right now is batting 500. My batting is 10th overall. My pitching runs against is 11th overall, so neither side's really great. And my defensive efficiency, my zone rating is 8th. Now, if you find yourself on the back end of the at the back end of a zone rating, I got a negative zone rating, then you can go into the lineups and click on fielding ratings, not fielding ratings, fielding stats, and sort by zone rating. And you'll see who's having the most trouble on your squad. Lave Cross, minus 3.1. Zolio Versailles at shortstop, minus 1.8. I need an upgrade at shortstop. Versailles has good range, though, so he's not horrible. But that would be a place I would be targeting to improve my defense, and the improved defense will help your pitching. What else? Again, if there's anything you have questions on, happy to help if something looks strange or odd. And then the other thing you want to do, you've opened your packs now. Now, how do you go through and get more packs? So the best way to get more packs is to go through and watch streams like this. Let's make sure that you've connected your account and you get drops. There's the link. That's not it. Drops. Follow that link and connect your OOTP account to your Twitch account and you will get drops. You can get 5 drops. You already linked? Excellent. You get 5 drops from affiliates each day and up to 5 from the mothership, which should be coming on around 2 o'clock with Dr. Dynastic in a bit. You asked the pack fairy to leave you a pack on your pillow. Yeah, rainbow pack would be nice. So yeah, and the next thing you can do, enter a perfect draft. It's a great way to learn about different cards. You don't have to have all the cards to be in a tournament, and you can get a chance to win. So enter perfect drafts. That's a quick and dirty way of getting some packs. If you've got more questions, definitely hit us up. Myself, Laptop Hound, pretty much everyone in the community is really happy to help you get through. That's how I learned from other streamers. Other streamers convinced me to stream. So it's just about giving back to the community. I do iron tournaments on this one. I do not do many combinators, so I don't do that well on those. There is something called combinators. If you don't know what combinators are, There is a nice link that Dishnet put together there in the forums. It is an explainer of combinators. I highly recommend that as something to go through just to get a grip of what it all is and what it means. Yes, in a perfect draft, I'll show you. For a perfect draft, you don't have to have any of the cards in your team. So we go into show tournaments, go into a perfect draft, and let's see, the Daily Bagels and Schmear is closed. Let's see what's still open. Daily Bagels and Schmear. Now I've already entered once, but why don't I just enter again? So I'm going to go enter the Daily Bagels and Schmear. And now I can go through and draft the team. We'll go ahead and draft the team. And you don't have to have any of these cards. They're going to just give you cards to choose from, and you form your team based on that. So that's the great thing you can do for free. Play with some of the best cards in the game that you don't even own. Do you need to wait to get out of an entry pool before you can enter tourneys? No. Once you have a team that's created and you're in entry pool, and you start, simming games in entry pool, you can go through and do a perfect draft immediately. And so, here we are. We're going to go in and do this perfect draft so someone else can beat me tomorrow. We'll have 2 people beat me tomorrow, probably. Wow. So I'm looking at this. George Hall can't defend.
Holy cow!
NC Pirate, thank you so much for the sub. Really appreciate you, man, supporting the channel. And
Holy cow!
Wait, what's going on here? NC Pirate was subscribed with Prime and Kush IERM, thank you. What's a good number for chemistry? I don't focus too much on chemistry on a team. On my theme teams, I have chemistry. I've got 98% on my Dodgers theme team because they're all playing together. I've heard, 15, 20% maybe is kind of standard. I don't go after chemistry on my main. And again, can I turn that back on?
Holy cow!
Can I allow it? Allow. There we go. This is a tough round. So I haven't really done something on that. Okay. Rod Carew. Rod Carew is not going to be the best defender here at second base. He can play some first base. The eye's okay. Like, this will play. Of this group, I'll take this card on this one. We'll go with a Rod Carew, and I'll probably try to stash him at first base. Gabby Hartnett.
This crowd is wild.
Actually, Gabby has decent defense. Thank you so much for the follow. Really appreciate it. So we're going to go through, and I'm going to go switch to Gabby Hartnett and get a catcher. The bat for Gabby Hartnett is not bad. So, okay. There we go. I feel better. I never like to take a reliever. I want someone who's going to be able to impact more often. I like taking batters with my first ones. This Chris Medlin is a pretty nice card. Still plays in some of the top leagues. Great home run out, great control. So I'm going to go pick him. I usually don't pick pitchers early on, but when I see a pitcher that's good, I like that a lot. The Del Pratt is not bad at second base and a good number 2 hitter. And Cody's not bad either, but I'm going to take the Chris Medlin on this one. Is low stamina worries you? Now here, when I see this set, there's 2 that stood out to me. I like this Joey Bart. I think he's got a good bat for it, but the catching frame is not as strong as what I took with Gabby Hartnett, so I'm going to pass on him right now. And I'm going to take Tris Speaker. Again, really nice defense in center field, 100 range. The BABIP is okay. He's much better V-right than V-left, but he's going to be a solid bat, getting on base, never going to hit for power, going to have some stealing and runs against it. So we're going to go through and take Tris Speaker here on this one. And let's see. In the Polo Grounds, I had gone with a Carew yesterday to hopefully use that awesome bat to find holes in the outfield. Yeah, we'll see if that works. We'll see if that works. It's again, home run allow is going to be a really important thing to work with. I like this veto for that same case. I don't really care about stuff if I see 93 and 103 here on the home run allowed movement. So that's definitely what I'm going to take. And then I have no up the middle infield defense here. I usually take a lot of my starting pitchers in this round, and I'm not overly, like, I love the, like, if I'm going to take a reliever, the Bob Locker or the Fernando is interesting, but I might go here with defense. Jay Bell is okay as a hitter, and great second base defense, so I'm going to take him as my second baseman on this one for this round. So I like shiny new things. The Verlander is interesting. The control is not great, but really good stuff, and home run allowed in this park makes me feel good about grabbing him. And again, I like to take my starting pitchers early in these rounds. Larry French, middling on the home run allowed, and in a pinch I'd pick him, but I feel like I've gotten some good pitchers so far. I am not winning tournaments today, guys. And now it's a question of, like, what's a bat that I could use here? Esterbrook's not that great. Jason Bay. Spray hitter. Good power and eye combo. And the BABIP's not so bad. He's going to strike out, but I'll take the hits. And left field, sure, we've got ourselves a batter. So we can compare these two. He's a spray hitter as well. And so I do not like this IV left. It's such, it's a nice split, but the split's bad. And I'd rather take a player that I don't have to split and platoon right away. So I'm going to stick with Jason Bay. I am a sucker for G. Walker, and I probably shouldn't be, because I don't know if he's that good with his horrible eye. I love this card, and I'm going to try to stay off it this time. It's one that I typically end up going after and questioning myself afterwards. Mike McCormick, 1985. Love that. Love the home run allowed and control combination. I'm adding him to the squad. Hank Aguirre, not as good on the control. Jim McAndrew. Yeah, and that's the key. You can watch and see how many catchers and infielders. You gotta make sure you have to get good. You don't want someone to get tired for the entire draft. Don't like that. Jim McAndrew, again in a pinch, but I don't like the home run allowed, especially in this ballpark on the corners. So another splitty outfielder in right field would be. I mean, the split's insane here. V right though is the high side of the platoon, so I'm more likely to take that. Hoyt Wilhelm as a reliever is interesting, but you often go through this draft and all of a sudden you don't have. Yeah, and again, this hole in eye is not great, right? Eye is really important. I think I'm going to go with Cliff Floyd and have to remember now to get a platoon for Cliff Floyd in right field. Yes. So Tony Phillips, for example, can play second, third, short, left, center, and right. His BABIP is okay. The power is very nice. I'm going to grab him to help me cover ground so I can fill in if I don't get some good cards at other spots. We've got Jay Bell ostensibly playing second base. So I'd change his position to kind of say that's what I've got. And Chico is not a good bat, but a really good defender. Do I take a bat here? Possibly. Or do I just take the hit? I'm not seeing a pitcher that I really love in this group. So I'm going to go take a defensive shortstop. Syl Johnson, not really. Laviano's got power. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to have a shortstop, and then Tony Phillips can flex as needed. Okay, so I've only got one catcher so far. I've got most of my infield. I don't have a first baseman, but those relatively are cheaper. What do you guys think about Leroy Matlick as a lefty? I like the home run allowed, and at this level, looking for a silver. He also can hit. A lot of the Negro League cards and players can do multiple things. So he's got an eye and some BABIP. So in a pinch, he can hit, which is nice to have a two-way player. Anybody else on this group? Sonny Jackson, not really. Charlie Berry, I think I'm going to grab for my second one. He pitched great for you? Again, I like the catcher framing, and I always forget to get a second catcher, and nothing else here is making me go, oh, I got to get that guy. This Pedro is not very good. Orlando Pena. No. Too much home run allowed. The Lip Pike is interesting, but really can't defend other than right field. Is he a platoon, though? He might be a good platoon for Cliff Floyd in right field. Let me go take off my catcher. I've got 3 more catchers to go. I might rue that I did that. Okay, so now I'm on catcher alert. There's only 3 more catchers. I've seen 7. I only have 1. There's 10 total in this whole draft. So I need to get 1 more catcher. One of the last 3. So I don't have a first baseman. Bill Terry, bat pretty good. Be right. Phil Weintraub. Ooh. He's going to strike out, but the power and eye combo is very nice. McEwing is versatile. He certainly is versatile. Wow. How's the bat? I really haven't played with this card. A little bit better view right. I will get a McEwing, although I should have gotten pitching. I've only got 5 pitchers right now. So this is the other thing I'm doing. I'm forgetting to draft pitchers. And this is when I get a little desperate. I see I don't want that V left ugliness. Chittum, not great. Breslow, not good on control. So I'm going to need this next round. It's pretty much catchers and pitchers this way out. We've got a horrible defensive catcher there. Cordero. So here's where I go against my own thing and maybe take a Cordero. Not excited by the low control. Sam LeClure, again, low control. If you've got high stuff and home run allowed, I can maybe get away with it. I think Matt Moore is good in this level. Not good. No stuff or control. So I need to make sure I've got at least 2 of the 3 things going. Again, not great. Gonna walk guys. But I am running out of options. I am running out of options. And I like this Lenny Harris card as well, but I'm going to go take another pitcher because I don't have any relievers or anything. Jackie Hayes. I've got 1 more other catcher beyond Jackie Hayes. Do I run with Jackie Hayes? Not a great hitter. Or risk having a worse catcher later? I'm going to risk having a worse catcher later. We'll see if that's the right move or not. Pitchers. Any good pitchers here? Bill Hall and Baumgartner. Of this group, I'm going to run with Baumgartner. Not happily. Getting a little ugly here. Okay, I've got 5 outfielders. McEwing is going to help me cover a lot of the infield positions as well. I'd like to have some people who can play some infield. So I'm going to look for the best potential hitter for this ballpark. 91.74 for power. 73.75. You can also, when you're in the middle of the draft, you can go here and do lineups and go through and take a look at, ask the bench coach, do your lineups. As you can see where you've got holes, right? So I've got people covering everything but catcher. We know that. But having McEwing having to do all the infielders, first, second, and third, and having to pull Jay Bell off a second makes me uncomfortable. So I need another infielder to cover that. The outfield looks pretty set. So Gene Baker can play some good defense. Not a great bat, but I don't really have any other infielders here in this round. So I am going to take him with gritting my teeth. Okay, not doing well. Okay. The Arnie Stone I like a lot. So we're going to take him, as you can see, and I'm running out of time, right? We've only got so much time to complete it. It's Arnie Stone. And no other catchers, okay. Mountjoy I like as well. So there's some good, again, a little bit low on the home run allowed. Going to give up some stuff, but this late in the round is a bronze card. I like that a great deal. I'm going to go with those two, and we got to have the last round. We get 5 cards. So here's our catcher that we have. Okay, not horrible. Not horrible catcher. I've got 10 pitchers. This is 1965. So in 1965, you only need 5 starting pitchers and 5 relievers. So I've got my 10 pitchers, which I'm okay with. I'm not excited about some of my pitchers, so if there's a better pitcher here, I might take it so I can just kind of bench one of them. But I don't think any of these are going to make my day. Yeah, Ben Tincup would be the closest. And a lot of the dead ball players are not good about home run allowed. So I'm going to go with all hitters here. I've got my catcher, and there aren't that many hitters here to choose from. It's basically 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess it's all hitters. I'm going to take whatever I got and see if I can go through now and create a squad. And there we go. We've finished our draft. So we'll take what we get. Now I go through, when I finish that, I'm going to go through and do my strategy. And I like pretty much to use the sabermetric strategy. But I'm going to import my one that I saved for perfect drafts. It's a sabermetric that I've already put in some defensive here fatigue management. You want to make sure your players aren't tired. The tired players hit worse and play worse and pitch worse. So you want to make sure I've got 95% on fatigue for the hitters, 95% on starting pitchers, 75% for relievers. It's not bad magic to go 4-man rotation. You can play the 1960s any way you want. I think there's definitely a different there's a different way you can do your when you get in prior 1960s and 1950s. I think you can start going with 4-man rotations, and earlier ball than that, 1930s, 1920s, you can go with 3-man rotations. So depending on the era, I have something that I've saved, pinned in our Discord. Again, if you want to join the theme teams, I run theme teams, and you can see us in the Discord here and on my channel in the Discord. And I think if you actually go to the main tournaments channel on OTP, it's pinned at the top of the tournaments. You'll see kind of like the pitching ratings, how many pitchers you use for pen and for starting pitchers for each of the different eras of baseball. So I've got us pinned on our tournaments channel as well. You can take a look at that. In pitching, I like to go through and take a look at, again, the pitching ratings. I've put in control and PBAB up here so I can take a look at the different ratings. I sort by control, and I go through and change the strategy. So these guys at 105, 103 are fine. When I start getting into the 30s, like a Chad Cordero, I want to do some pitch around. So they're not nibbling at the plate. They're going at them with their stuff. I also take a look at like extreme fly ball pitchers. So we'll go back to Chad Cordero. For Chad Cordero, I like to have the outfield shifts all the way over. A little extra added on top of what I already did for my global statings for the extreme fly ball pitchers. And we'll do that in this case as well so that we have a little bit more coverage there. Okay, so we've done that. Now I'm looking at my pitching staff. One of the things I take a look at is the pitch count. We had to get a table together of the strategy settings that you and other streamers use by era. I don't change much of my strategy settings by era, and I probably should. I'd love to have some other streamers, talk about that, because I don't really change anything. We talk about metal and stamina. Again, in the era of the 1960s, there's longer pitch counts. I'm going to put him up to a 90. pitch count and keep him in the game longer. And this is something you can do as well. You can, if you keep your starters, again, there's many varieties of thought, so you can play different ways. If you keep your pitcher in longer, starting pitcher longer, your pen's going to get less tired. And in tournaments, you don't have any off days. You want, unless you sweep a series, so you want to have your pitching staff somewhat sane. So I'm going to go a little bit higher. Also, this era, they are able to kind of regenerate a little bit faster than the modern era. 82, I'm going to do 110. Verlander, it's got a 92. Again, I'll do 120 for him. And for Matlock, 84, I'll do 110. So that's just pitch count. And then as far as the starting squad, again, I like Medlin. I like Vito, McCormick. I'm feeling comfortable with this setup for the rotation. So that looks good. Yeah, for Modern's playoff mindset, I don't like to burn, but again, fatigue is a thing. Fatigue is a thing. So, lineups. Let's go to the lineups. So, I've set up my basic batting ratings to look like this. I like to look at, actually, I've done this in the batting ratings detail. I've made a separate view. So I like to look at the batting, the BABIP, the gap, power, I, and strikeouts for right-handers and for left-handers. I like this detail and then how speedy and how much stealing they're doing. And that's how I kind of set up my specific lists. I guess all I want after being bounced in round one. There you go. So the AI has put Trish Speaker in the #1 spot. A 90, 117, 105, 114 with a nice stealing makes a lot of sense. They've put Cliff Floyd, again, a V-right god, 96, 109. So now here, Cliff Floyd might be my best power and I combo behind Phil Weintraub. Phil Weintraub has the best power and I combo. I'm going to put Phil Weintraub in the 3 spot. And typically I put my best hitter in the 4 spot. The 2 in the 4 spot. The player in the 2 spot, and again I use this book called The Book. The guy who invented WOBA as a stat. You can find him on Amazon. I really should put that as a link in here. Did I do it? I don't know that I did do that. Let's see. I don't know that I did. Checking. No, I did not. I'll have to do that in the future. And they did all the stats and running who should go at each position as you go through. And so I like a guy with good gap in the 2-hole. See, now Lip Pike is not able to play here, which is, I guess Lip Pike's going to be my Cliff Floyd V right guy. Interesting. And again, that's why the Pike's the first one off the bench. So this is one of those things where I see somebody's missing. I'm like, oh, I gotta get him in somewhere. But in this case, in power and I think Cliff Floyd's the second most. Oh, that doubles is very enticing. So do I do Jason Bay here, V right, 88, 113 versus Lip Pike, 80, 177. So a lot more I, but a lot more BABIP. Can Pike play left? No, he cannot. Can Cliff Floyd play left? Yes. So I am going to do this. And I'm going to put Pike in here. And Cliff Floyd backing up right field. And who did I? And Jason Bay. Here. And this allows me then to put Cliff Floyd as my number 4 hitter and I put Lip Pike as my number 2 hitter. And that allows me now to have a 90, 140, 87, 7 with decent base running in the 2-hole, which is what I like. Okay. Gabby Hartnett as my number 5. Sure. Jay Bell is okay, but not a great bat. So I'm going to do the, put them in the 9 hole so you can kind of flip over that. And then I go do left-handed. Nice. Congratulations, Serpent. That's how you start. That's awesome. And you should have gotten for your first win some extra perfect points. I would suggest do not spend your perfect points on packs. Save those perfect points to buy the cards you want to improve. Do I care that all left of these are together? I don't really care. I mean, this is left, right, left, right, left, right, switch, right. Oh, no, it wasn't. I don't in this. I mean, if you want to run an opener against me, it's fine. But I'm just looking at the best overall hitters and just trying to stack my lineup to win the most. I'm not as worried about this as much. And frankly, none of the other hitters that I have, the other 8, are as good. So yeah. So I'm not worrying about it. I'd rather have the good hitters in place. And I've got a little, you know, kind of quasi-right switch going on the rest of the lineup. So, batting left. Now here, Jay Bell's a little bit more interesting as a leadoff hitter. Here, Cliff Floyd is really not great. So I'm going to sit Cliff Floyd, and Pike will come in for Floyd here. Jay Bay will stay in. Jay Bell now with a 90-98. Not as powerfully as V Right, but still for my power and eye combinations. You know, Tony Phillips has got the best power eye combo of this entire group. That's interesting. I'm probably going to keep Phil Weintraub in the 3 spot. Tris Speaker is not as strong here on this side, but still a good leadoff hitter. Jay has got good gap for hitting doubles in the 2 hole, which I like. So I might switch Bell and Tris here. Jay Bell get on, and then Tris hit a double to get him in. Phil Weintraub, and again, very weird here. I've got lots of V lefts here. The Pike's just that good. I don't know. I might succumb to some right-left conversation there. And then Tony Phillips and Chico. Can you steal? You can. I'll have him restart the top of the lineup. Submit team, and I am taking Pike out because he's in. McEwing comes up. Bosch looks good. Jones, Nippy Jones, nope. Cliff Floyd. I don't know, I'm just parsing at this point. You just drafted a tipper with only 1 catcher? I've done that. I've done that. Or I had one yesterday with just 1 third base. I'm like, don't. Hate when I do that. Hate when I do that. And there you go. And so this is just, again, you'll see, this took a little bit of time. So it's an investment of time. And that's probably the hardest thing about perfect drafts, is that it's hard for me to not do a perfect draft in less than 15 to 20 minutes. You can do up to 3 different perfect drafts. So use all your slots. If you don't have a perfect draft going for every slot, then you're missing out. So you should do something for each one of your slots that you've got going through. When you're doing tournaments, you can do 3 different, 2 different quick drafts, I think. I can't remember now. I think it's 2 different quick drafts. So I'm doing iron tournaments. I've got an iron team that I've created with just iron cards in it. And I've got there. So you've got the league play that you're playing, right, Serpent? The AI will give you an initial roster to start with, yes. And then I nitpick it, and I change it. You just saw me spending 15 minutes nitpicking and moving around the roster to get it to where I like it. So the AI is okay. The AI is not perfect. And so that's why you'll find a lot of us that go through and play tournaments will go through and actually switch stuff around a lot. And again, it's basically, yeah, so here's how it works. You're an entry pool. So an entry pool, you're just simming games, and then you'll get entered into Rookie League on Monday. And everything will wipe out. You don't save any history or anything, and you'll start off in actual league play on Monday. But if you're an entry pool, you should be playing other teams, and it'll sim pretty much every half hour. It'll sim. You have an off day. You have 6 days in a row, and an off day, 6 days in a row, and an off day. And then you'll get into the game, and you'll see here in the Perfect Team universe, you'll be placed in one of these rookie leagues. And then if you do well, if you're in the top 4 rookie league at the end of the season, you move up to Stone. Top 4 goes to Iron, all the way up until Perfect League, with only the top 2 from Diamond go up to the Perfect League. And so that's how the process works. You're starting off now at the bottom of the barrel, but it's great. You're earning some perfect points to kind of get your team going. You do a lot of perfect drafts. What I typically have done in the past, I'm not going to suggest it this year because of the combinators in, but in the past what I would do is instead of buying cards on my main team, I'd make together and I'd find some of the best Iron cards and put together an Iron tournament team and compete for quicks and Iron as a way to generate packs. This year, because they've introduced something called a combinator where you can take an Iron card and you can boost it 5 times to make it 5 times, not 5 times better, but a good chunk better than the normal ones, it's really hard to compete as a new entry-level player at that level. So that's a change that was made this year that I think makes it harder for new players to go and generate economy, but that's what you want to do. You want to generate packs. Because the more packs you open, the more cards you get, helps you finish up live missions, helps you finish up other missions. And so this year I say perfect drafts are the way to go. And even doing some perfect quick drafts may be the way to get some early packs going, pack generation. But PT Live generates some perfect points. Do your PT Live every day. You've got the drops. The 10 packs a day from drops is huge, really important to do. Do the perfect drafts, which are free to play. And yes, packs from winnings. That's typically the best way of doing things, because you will end up finding better ways of using your perfect points down the line to get a card you specifically need. So Alfred, good to see you, my friend. You did win, I think this weekend, you won our Rip-A-Pack-A-Palooza that we did on Saturday. So you get 5 packs from following affiliates, and then you get 5 packs from, congratulations to you, you did the work. I just pulled the cards. You get 5 packs from following OOTP developments. So let's do that real quick here. Shout out. OTP developments. So you click on that, follow that channel. When that channel goes live, and they have a schedule that they do for streaming each week. So let me get back into chatting here. So Dr. D on the mothership today is scheduled to start at 2 o'clock. As a matter of fact, no, he hasn't started yet. But as soon as he starts, we'll take you on over there. And then if you stay there for an hour and a half, you will get your drops on the mothership. And so you get five drops from following affiliates like myself, or Don't Have to Debug Dragon, or any of these people here. I'm going to put a link in the chat here to all of our affiliates that you can see. That'll link all the affiliates that you can get drops from. So if I'm not here, you can follow all the people on that slide, and they will give you drops. But that's how you go through and get your packs. So you have to follow OTP Developments. There's 5 a day. Now they don't stream every day, but their general schedule is nice. Yeah, generating packs is a huge thing, and so getting into giveaways that streamers do, like again we have Guess the Set that's still open. You have a chance to win if you haven't gotten in. There is the link that is in chat. Click on that. Guess what cards are coming tomorrow. Some of the best May players of all time in baseball will be a part of the card set tomorrow. And, you know, that's a chance to win packs. The mothership streams regularly on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. TJ does something. Saturday nights at around 8 o'clock. DishNet will do the This Week in Perfect Team Weekly Showdown Perfect Draft. Sunday nights at 6, 7, 8, they'll do the streaming of the Perfect League World Series. That's 3 guaranteed that happen every week. And then they do some other pop-ups that'll happen. Sometimes Rich will come on late. Dr. Dynastic's been doing his 64 tournament best teams of baseball over the last couple weeks on the mothership, giving everyone packs as well. So that's another way that you can get packs. He's been doing those at different times. So follow that channel. When it goes off, come on in, and that's what you want to get, that OTB developments, and that makes sure you get your max of 10 drops you get per day that you can get from the different affiliates. It is 2:03, and I do not see Dr. Dynastic yet. I am going to make sure he's still on the calendar, but I did see some things about some stuff. Yes, and Spore is going to start on Tuesday morning sometime soon, so around noonish, 11ish, 10ish on Tuesday mornings. He'll start doing something called the Tuesday Treasure Trove, and he'll be releasing some lower level cards that will be helpful in bronze and silver and even gold, but mostly iron and stone, mostly iron tournaments soon on Tuesdays. So they're usually, you know, 4 to 5 times a week you'll find them in there to get you an extra 25 packs each week on top of the 35 packs you can get. I wish I saw Dr. Dynamic. Let me text Dr. Dynamic and see if he's coming soon. Streamers, keep them connected. Oops. What is that all about? Got the stuff in the wrong place. Pinged him. Things about stuff. Any other questions that you have, please let me know. Happy to go through and see if I can do some things. A little vamping, as we call it, as we wait for things. Oh, I should check on... We didn't check on it. We should go check on the... Thank you, Hunter Sky. I was very excited. If you haven't made a player in the PBE, you should totally do so. It is a blast. I'm having a great time. My player, Enrique Von Caliente, made it to the minor leagues as a second baseman, as an all-star, which is awesome. Am I vamping your path block? I don't know. Today's Daily Bagels and Schmear. Let's go see how that tournament is doing. And see if didn't mean to do that. Bagels and Schmear. We're going to talk some Bagels and Schmear. Let's go see how the Bagels and Schmear is doing here. We're loading it up. I am a Vandal later on, but you know it's all about a rebuilding. I know, AW. I've been drafted by the Vandals. They're redoing their entire middle infield, and the Vandals have had a long streak of losing. So hopefully I can be part of a new winning strategy for their team. Cody K, I believe in you. I believe in you. Okay, here we are again. Chess Safari beat my EVC squad here. He's now in the drawing. Let's go take a look where the tournament is now in our tournament coverage. We're down to our final 4. The Atlantis Mantis Shrimp heading off against and the home of the Brave, one of our leaders in the bagel so far this month. And Yo Dodger Bob's Chavez Ravine Union 76ers theme team going up against the Alamo Placita PCK. And let's see, I don't know if I know the Alamo Placita. Danny, 1911, with his Mantis Shrimps. Yeah, you know, Mike, it's an interesting thing. Cool. Okay, Dr. Dynamic or Dr. Dynastic is firing up now. We should see him shortly as soon as he's over there. But yeah, there's definitely a. I wish I could find it. I should make a slide so it's easily available for you. Actually, I have a slide. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it real quick here. Episode 272, I think. PTCS. You've got to look at the era of play. I was the same way. I never did that for pitchers. Until I started seeing what other people were doing, like, okay, maybe I should change my ways. Episode 271 does not exist, so that's good. The Managed Shrimps down the beats for you. Who are you? The Managed Shrimps? Home of the Braves smoked your Devil Rays. I know they're doing well. Here we go. I found it. Okay. Let me turn that, make that full screen so you can see. So, this is a chart that's been shared through many different avenues. I think Xandris originally did this one. But depending on the era of play, you can choose a different number. You don't need as many pitchers because in the era of play, the pitchers in the dead ball era, you only need 2 or 3 starting pitchers because they regenerate much faster from fatigue in that era. So you can go with 2 to 3 starting pitchers in the dead ball and a pen of 5. That allows you, when you're doing a draft then, if you've got an era like that, to actually focus on drafting players that are platoons. So we just did the PTCS. It was in 2004. That meant it was in the power. So you had a pen of 7. You can do 5, 12. When you start talking modern era, usually you need 7 to 8. You almost need 13 pitchers in the modern era in a tourney. So if you're doing a modern era tourney, then the full 13 or 12 is definitely what you want to have for your pitching. But for boom years, you can get down to 10. So 1965, which is the Bagels and Schmear. And you get to older tournaments, again, you start seeing, as soon as you get pre-1961, 1960 and before, you end up getting a much smaller set of pitchers needed to start. And so that really changes how you draft in those. And that's what other people are doing in those. So you want to kind of, the top players are kind of taking this strategy and running with it. And so it's something you should kind of consider when you're doing that. So hopefully, screenshot that if you don't have it. I also have a copy of that in our Discord if you're part of the theme team crew. My slide is wrong. Wade Beers, help me out. What is wrong? Always giving the bunk on this channel. 1960 is not 3 pitchers. Is it 5? There you go. I'm always wrong. And on that note, it's 5 pitchers. Okay. So don't listen to everything I say. The mothership is live. Let me go raid you over there. It's great having you all today. Thank you so much today. A couple hype trains came through. Nazbase gifting a subscription to X-Serpent Enjoy. Thank you, Nazbase, for gifting that to him. Serpent Enjoy, so glad to have you here. Use those emotes wherever you are. Kush, i.e. your thank you so much for the sub as well. NC Pirate, thank you for subscribing. Real Teddy O, resubscribing. Thank you so much again. Cubs fan 23 Steve, now 23 months. You guys are awesome. I'm going to go switch you guys on over, but really appreciate each and every one of you. And let me get you on over to Dr. Dynastic on the main channel. Don't worry, you'll get all your drops. He always guarantees if you came over in my raid, you will get your full complement of drops. So always awesome having you guys here. Thank you so much for hanging out. Good luck in Guess the Set. If you haven't gotten in there yet, there's one more chance to get the link if you just missed it. Enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. on, oh no, did it go away? There it is. On Laptop Hound's channel. So go follow Laptop Hound. I can't even say his name right. Let's go right now into Dr. Dynamic himself, Dr. Dynastic. Enjoy, everybody.